Okay, welcome everybody to the Slightly Salted Squad. We're going to be talking today Gamescom 2018. With me, we've got Mike at Sredge, Deion at Super Nerd Fresh, and Chris at Tales of Nerdia, and of course myself, John at Force Inept. But first, the news. Okay, Gamescom 2018. First of all, just want to talk a little bit about Cyberpunk 2077. Honestly, we didn't get too much out of it. We got some new concept art. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I mean, I'm still insanely hyped for this game. Like, this is all they need to give me.
I mean, like, the hype continues, right? And so, we don't get much. We get concept images, which is cool, and it's just another thing that keeps people kind of going. I mean, they tweeted these out as well, and like as soon as they did that, people were just like zooming in on the images, looking at little things frame by frame, and trying to find out any little detail that they can on the game. And so like I expect that to kind of continue, just because people are just too damn excited about the game. So still not much to see, right? But it just gives you a little tease, and it kind of reminds me of what Rockstar does, in the sense of, usually before their big games come out, they just send you an image and then the internet goes crazy. It's like the same type of stuff, like for this.
Right.
Yeah, I just continue to be impressed with the level of detail in what we're seeing. The world looks so immersive, and these screenshots are just, they absolutely blowing me away.
Now, Chris, I know I don't think very interested in, maybe this game or Red Dead Redemption, for example. Does this do anything for you?
Well, just the world itself, I'm interested in. Like this type of setting and this, futuristic aesthetic. Like I'm all cool with that, but I can't get invested into a game until I see gameplay. Like, or it has to be some unique art direction. So I love the setting, I love how it looks. I'm interested, but not, I wouldn't say I'm hyped yet.
Gotcha.
But my interest is peaked, so as they show more, I'm going to keep paying attention to it. But so far I'm just kind of like, lukewarm on it, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. That's one of these games we're going to be seeing stuff for, what, a year and a half, 2 years probably. So
yeah.
I'm hoping my hype doesn't die down, but we'll see how that goes.
And I mean, they have shown gameplay behind closed doors.
Yes.
So that's the thing, is like, why can't the public get that glimpse yet?
Right.
It's probably just because it's so far off. And it was first person, which I believe surprised some people, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll have to keep waiting.
Yeah, especially from like Witcher 3 being, third person, everything like that. I think everybody just kind of naturally assumed from CD Projekt Red it was going to be along the same lines. But I heard good things actually from people that aren't even, first person players that really enjoyed it. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hope some gameplay leaks sometime from one of these conventions, somebody sneaking in a phone. Even a little glimpse would be cool to satiate me for a little bit. So.
Right. And well, the game is still in pre-alpha, so I think there's plenty of time to see some gameplay kind of sneak out before we actually get to see the final game.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure
I mean,
they're being careful
the
trailer,
about that. The trailer they showed years ago, like, whatever that concept was is, like, basically dead. They pretty much started this thing from scratch again, So it's not like the years of waiting for this reveal is it's been in development all this time, Not
right.
really.
Yeah, fair. That's probably pivoted so many times and it probably still will, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Next, we got Battlefield 5. Actually, sorry, Sekiro. Talking about this, and I know I probably butchered that. Chris, I'm gonna, I think, just turn this over to you.
Yeah, so Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is the next game from Software. the makers of Dark Souls, Bloodborne. They also have a couple other games coming up too, like Deracine, which is, I think, a VR game. But Sekiro, been waiting on some hands-on impressions of it. We got that at Gamescom. I pretty much spent all yesterday morning just watching, 5 different venues post their gameplay impressions, and I'm pretty excited for it. There's more stealth involved when you compare it. Kind of when you look at a FromSoft game, you're gonna compare it to Bloodborne and Dark Souls because you kind of expect key elements from those games to continue in their new games. So comparing it to those ones, there's more stealth involved. There's more aggression involved. In Dark Souls, you got your shield up, you're being defensive, you're waiting for your chance to attack. Bloodborne, you started to be more aggressive, dodging left and right, but there is no really block. Here, you're very aggressive. You're trying to parry and you're trying to break the person's. I forget the term they use, but you're trying to break their poise, basically.
Oh, okay.
And I think each kill kind of ends in not a cutscene, but like a visceral kind of kill where, you're invincible for a second because you're cutting their head off or stabbing them in the neck, something like that.
That's interesting. So it's not like a lot of, I guess, enemy commands. It's more of one-on-one type scenarios.
From the demo that they showed, there weren't hordes of enemies, but
Okay.
Several on screen at a time. But another thing they just emphasized is the stealth, and that I'm hesitant about because I almost never enjoy stealth games. I am a run and gun, just gotta get in there and kill everything as fast as possible. So that's why I'm excited about the combat being more aggressive. But from what I saw, it looked like the stealth wasn't too bad, especially because you have this grappling hook that you could just fly around, and the verticality of the world is it's so much different than Bloodborne and Dark Souls, where there kind of was a jump button, but not really. You had to
just barely
run and then do a jump. This has a dedicated jump button plus the grappling hook where you're flying all around the stage. So it's easy to get good positioning so far, what it looks like. Easy to get good positioning for those stealth kills. And
Gotcha.
then when you really need to go with hand-to-hand combat against, or not hand-to-hand, but, go in and do some slicing and dicing, that's when, the action really picks up. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it, man. I can't wait. My first experience with FromSoft games was Bloodborne 2 years ago. I got Dark Souls Remastered. I enjoyed that a lot. Right now I'm playing Neo, not a FromSoft game, but inspired. And then next up for me is Dark Souls 3. So I'm going to try and beat Neo and Dark Souls 3 before Sekiro comes out.
What's the release date on this?
So they just announced the release date. It is March. I forget the exact date. It's early March of 2019, which is a lot sooner than I thought.
Okay.
March 22nd. It's March 22nd, 2019.
Oh, 22nd. For some reason, I was thinking the 3rd or the 5th. Okay, March 22nd. But yeah, that's sooner than I was hoping. So
Very cool.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, well, one thing that was pretty cool, and I've never played Dark Souls, seen a lot of gameplay and everything like that. I could see in a couple of gameplay footages that it was gonna, you can tell that it is a little bit more stealth, but it didn't seem to me that it was true stealth, if you know what I mean. I saw him climbing on the roofs and kind of jumping over, but it's not. I wouldn't compare that to a Metal Gear stealth,
right?
Exactly.
Right. Where you get spotted by one enemy and all of a sudden everyone knows where you're at.
Right, exactly. It looked more like, all right, well, you definitely want to do stealth, and I watched one gameplay footage, right? You climb on a roof, you jump behind somebody, and then you could tell right away it was that same Dark Souls feel when he did that, someone did a move right behind someone's back and did that special mechanic. You could tell oh, this is a Dark Souls game, but it didn't feel like, oh, okay, he had to be completely stealth. It just looked more advantageous than it was a necessity.
Yeah, it looks like they give you a lot of wiggle room. You're not going to get spotted super easily. And even if, you would think, oh, that other enemy should have spotted me in his peripherals when I killed his buddy over here.
Right. It's gonna be a
It
little
looked like they
lenient.
gave you some wiggle room there,
That's good.
which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then there's just like additional. In this game, they're emphasizing just skill over RPG elements. So you're not going to be leveling up your character. You're not going to be worrying about stats. It's about using the tools they gave you in the right way and learning the combat to master that, knowing when to parry, knowing when to be aggressive, knowing when to back off, sidestep, like all of that, and then using your ninja tools because your left arm is like a prosthetic arm, and you can alternate like tools using that arm. So throwing shurikens with that arm. There's like a nice like axe that pops out of that
A
arm.
flamethrower, apparently, based on the digital soundtrack cover.
Yes, and when you use that flamethrower, if you slice your sword right away after using the flamethrower, now your sword is on fire. So you can kind of, now you got a flame sword for
Nice.
like 30 seconds.
Well,
It's
kind of
pretty
go back to
dope.
what you were saying, though, Chris. I think that's where this game really breaches the sort of stealth action type genre, because you're not going to get massive gear. You're not going to have a ton of stat points. It's going to be one of those things that it is going to rely on your skill, and there very well may be times where you're just going to try to avoid enemies altogether to be able to make it through some of these tougher areas.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So,
Cool. Well, I'm not gonna
I've been
lie.
watching-
You've kind of piqued my interest in it. Not probably
Yeah,
my type of
I-
game, but might check it out.
it's definitely worth a look. I mean, it's different enough from the Dark Souls and Bloodborne that I would tell people, even if they couldn't get into those games, at least check out some gameplay of this one, because it is more, it feels more actiony. So
Gotcha.
I would check out some of the gameplay footage.
If I give you $20, can you just get the big pre-order and I can like take the statue from you? Because that statue is
That's-
freaking epic.
yeah,
I don't even
the statue's
like.
badass.
It looks really cool.
I really want that statue. I want nothing else in that collector's edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest is
Well,
Steelbook looks
I
cool,
lo-
but
I love steelbooks, so I'm cool with that. And I guess the soundtrack is cool, but like I don't care about the map. Art books, I don't even look at them. And those coins, it's like, well, what am I going to do with those? Use them as coasters?
No, you collect them, bro.
really,
That's
really
the
small
collector's edition.
coasters.
Meh. Just give me the
Okay.
statue.
Well, let's move on to the next one for the sake of time. Battlefield 5. Beta is September 4th.
September 6th.
Is it? Damn, I had the 4th. Well, shit, my bad. The 6th.
Googling.
Googling.
That's
So,
fine. We just have a big banner
Yeah,
behind.
it just
John
says
right now. That's
giant September 4th. I can't cover it either because of the green screen. So, new gameplay trailer.
It's
um,
the 6th.
Damn
To be
it.
fair, open beta starts on the 6th, but there are ways to get in 2 days early, so some people will be playing.
Boom.
If you
the
if you
4th.
pre-order, you get in 2 days early.
There you go. Pre-order and EA Origins probably some bullshit.
I bet it. Yeah.
Confirmed.
I say that, but I'm going to be playing Battlefield 5. I love Battlefield 1, love the air combat. World War 2 is more of my interest anyways, just from being a fan of history overall. So I'm really excited to get into like a Mustang, fly around, naval battles, all that shit. Very excited. But yeah, we'll see. Tempering my expectations, the pre-orders are very low. I think it was 85% below Call of Duty 4. So yeah, substantially
Really?
low. It's lower than they anticipated, but they're still happy with the numbers according to their records, but it's still much lower than they actually thought it would be. I'm sure a lot of that's because of just EA hate. It's a fucking busy fall for, you got Battlefield, you got Call of Duty, you've got Red Dead Redemption, you got Spider-Man, you got Fallout 76, like all these massive games coming out all around
Mega
that time
Man
period.
11.
Totally forgot to say Mega Man 11.
Dragon Quest 11.
How many?
Lots of
11th? Yeah. Won't even ask.
Tales of Vesperia Deluxe Edition.
11.
11.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'm excited. The more destructive environments, everything like that. I mean, I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be that teammate that's on there that just spawns in planes and doesn't do anything else. But that's my fucking type of game. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to say a lot about this. Just they put out a new trailer as well. Looks really cool. Shows more mechanics. Shows what you can do. I expect this to be traditional what they typically do in a Battlefield franchise, right? A couple open betas.
Yep.
They've already done the closed betas, and hopefully they'll polish it, fix the mechanics, and put it out there. It does have a lot of competition against the other things that will be around, so that is interesting. I didn't know about the pre-order and how low that is, but yeah, I don't know. I'm probably still gonna pick it up just like I typically do, and I think they learned a lot about the loot boxes and some of the stuff that they did in the previous Battlefield and other EA games not to do that. Hopefully,
Mike, are you into the Battlefield or Call of Duty franchises?
Literally not even a little.
I didn't think so, but yeah. Well, I'm excited, but the beta being even more so true if it's actually September 6th. New gameplay trailer for Battlefield 5. Sorry, I forgot to be showing this in the background. Real quick, it's all gameplay footage, destructible environments. It just looks like a shit show. They're going to do the Battle Royale mode too, which Call of Duty is doing too, and Rainbow Six something or other is doing Battle Royale too. So we'll see. I don't think that's going to actually compete with Fortnite, but that's what people want right now. So whatever.
Were there any new details about it revealed at Gamescom, or was it just kind of like let's show you more gameplay of the things we've talked about?
All I saw was more gameplay. So.
Gotcha.
And this little end clip here is, I think, the Battle Royale with, the fire closing and stuff. So I'm going to play it, see what it is. From what I hear, it's not going to release at the same time as Battlefield 5. It's going to be like a more added on later because they're probably still trying to put final touches on it, but we'll see.
Right.
But for the beta, though, being September 6th, no way I'm fucking playing that because September 7th is Spider-Man. I am incredibly more and more hyped for this game.
This is the kind of game that I love to play.
Yeah. Collectibles, looks like Marvel's actually got it right. It's very Batman, Arkham Asylum type combat, looks very stylized. So I'm pumped.
I feel very confident in this game now just based off of everything we've heard from every other person that's got a chance to play this game. If it doesn't live to the hype, it might be like my biggest surprise disappointment just because everyone's kind of already played it that's gotten that early access to it, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. I'm super excited about it. So I just hope this continues to deliver and that we don't get a bad surprise.
Yeah, all the early plays I guess I think it's first 4 hours you could do. And from what I heard, it was very kind of a natural progression where somebody made a great comparison to Assassin's Creed, the Origins one, where you start that game and it's just like there's shit all over the map. There's icons everywhere. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. I was super confused and honestly turned off to that game right off the bat because of that. This one, I guess it's more of like a progression. You actually learn the locations, and then they become icons, and it's a more natural feel. So I'm very excited to see how that is. Not to mention all the costumes and customization and unlockables and shit. I know, Mike, you're gonna have a field day platinuming it.
I was actually just thinking about that. The being able to explore New York City in sort of an open space and to knock out all the collectibles, which obviously is what gets my rocks off. Looking at even some of the new costumes that they have the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man costume, which I think is going to be so cool. The photo mode in the game looks absolutely incredible, being able to climb up to these tall buildings and do some really cool photo stuff. I think I'm just going to have hours and hours and hours of fun with this one.
So Chris.
Yeah, for me, the main draw of this is just Insomniac Games. Like the fact that they're attached to it, they just have such a good history with Spyro, Ratchet and Clank. I don't know much about the Resistance games, but there's a lot of people who do like those and who beg for them to bring back Resistance. Sunset Overdrive, they just have they're a developer that knows what they're doing. So
Right.
when they're making a game, I'm paying attention to it, and just the movement of this game and the combat of this game remind me a bit of Ratchet and Clank and Sunset Overdrive, just because those games are, traversing the world feels good. So that caught my attention the most. I don't have a huge attachment to the Spider-Man world. I watched the cartoon as a kid, so like Spider-Man doesn't get me excited. It's just Insomniac Games is making a cool action like open world game. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm in. Sign me up. I'm stoked.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah, I think John hit the nail on the head when he talked about when he compared it to Arkham Asylum. This feels more like Arkham Knight, where you have kind of an open world. But I think this is going to do for the Spider-Man franchise what the Arkham series did for Batman, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I can definitely. I feel like they're probably already planning a sequel.
Yeah, I'm curious about the story. To be honest, I like Spider-Man stories have always been, I mean, in my opinion, a little cliche, but with the mechanics of unlocking the different gadgets and shit like that, I'm pumped.
So my question, real quick, is like, would that matter to you? Like, say the story was like, blah, right? Does the new mechanics, does the gameplay, does the Batman type combat, like, does that push that over what the story would be?
So I liked Batman. I really didn't get into the story of Batman, honestly. And a few years ago, I probably would have said, yes, doesn't matter, the story can be shit, whatever. But lately, with the Uncharted games and Last of Us and Horizon and just
God of War,
like all those stories and mechanics have been so great that, I mean, it's got a lot to live up to. Like God of War this year, I mean, we can do a Game of the Year discussion later, but fuck. That's all I gotta say.
I think you're right, though. I think that the industry is changing, right? And it's no longer gameplay or story. Now we can have both. I don't know if Spider-Man will be that. I know that there's a ton of new villains that are supposed to be in the game. Little snippets I've heard about the story sound interesting, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned God of War because I love that game. I platinumed the game. I almost didn't care about the story.
Really?
I cared more about Kratos' relationship with his son. So, like, I do care about character development. That was more important to me. Like, the stranger, I didn't care about. The witch in the forest and her whole thing with the stranger. Like, it just didn't matter too much to me. For me, it was all about Kratos and his son. So
Gotcha.
I think, like, if Spider-Man himself has some important moments that make me care about him,
Right.
that will be good enough for me. Like, if the villains are really just like, man, we're gonna take over the world, see? Like, I'm cool with that because it's Spider-Man.
That's fair. If there's character investment and I feel like attached to the character, yeah, that'll be enough for me. Story would be
Well, and
amazing.
I think you will. They're saying that Spider-Man's not the only character you're going to be able to play. You're going to be able to play as is it Mary Jane? You'll be able to play as other people. There's also, you'll be able to play as Spider-Man outside of the suit, so you'll be playing as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
They've already
interesting.
shown, Miles Morales is actually in the game. So I do think it's going to be more than just, web slinging, crime fighting. I think there will be a pretty deep story, but, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have been kind of going dark on Spider-Man. I haven't watched anything since E3 because when I saw the gameplay demos of E3 and got everyone's impressions and everyone was coming out of it saying like, man, this game is awesome, feels good to traverse the world and the action is good. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
It's enough.
And now I've just been like, even though I don't, they could tell me, oh, this person is, in the game. I'm like, I don't know who that is. That really doesn't matter. But for some reason, I just feel like I'm already in. I'll just wait to play it.
Gotcha. I'm actually kind of that way with Red Dead Redemption, except I'll watch the gameplay trailers and stuff like that, but any of the, extra theories and all that stuff, like, I'm staying away from that because I know that's going to be a story that I care about. So I don't want anything spoiled in that regard. Okay. Let's see. Next, we've got Overwatch. Chris, I know you... I played this at launch. I play it once in a while, but I know you are very much into it. New map. excitement there?
New map, that's cool. Nothing I'm gonna rant too much about. It's just like, all right, it looks nice. I've watched some breakdowns of the map, and here's a good place to camp out your snipers and blah blah blah. So I've seen a little bit of stuff on it, but honestly, like, that stuff is just kind of, I don't go on the PTR, where you can test all these things out.
Right.
So to me, it's just like, let me know when it's available and I can play it for myself.
Cool.
And they also did the new Diva cinematic, which I haven't watched yet, like short.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I liked it. It kind of brought a different side to Diva, in my opinion.
Yep.
It was cool to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime they do those cinematics, I mean, they're always good. So.
I think it's because I got so late into the game, I haven't watched all the other cinematics, so I don't really know the lore of Overwatch very well. I've watched like 2 or 3 cinematics.
That's one thing. Overwatch has some insane lore that I don't understand. Like, I've watched all the cinematics, but there is so much more to that universe that I know nothing about.
I just need to check out a wiki or something. Like, what order should I watch everything in, and where can I consume the comics and stuff? But, like, I'll eventually get into that stuff, but now I'm just trying to, like, not be crappy at the game. So
Fair. I really hope they make a movie out of it. It's Pixar level shit, honestly. Some of it looks better than some Pixar.
Yeah, the shorts look really nice.
Yeah.
So.
And in, honestly, 6-7 minutes is roughly where they're around. They do some immense character building without knowing any of the other lore. Like, Diva, for example, I just always picture as this gamer that has a robot, blah, blah, blah. Like, they add a lot of depth to her character very quickly. Same with Reinhardt. It's even Soldier 76. That one's an amazing video. Definitely have to watch that. But they're all
so
great.
Hearing you say that makes me want to check it out.
Oh,
because the reaction I'm seeing online is that people are upset it didn't add much to the lore.
Well,
but what I prefer are the things you're talking about, like adding depth to characters or adding personality to characters. That's always something I've cared a little bit more about than an overall story.
Yeah, somebody that's really versed in the lore. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything if that adds to it or anything like that. Maybe this is what everybody already expects from their character, but me having just played the game, knowing only what I've seen in game and then these shorts, each short adds a whole different, honestly, sometimes depressing background to these characters that you're like, oh shit, okay, these are like fully fleshed out characters. Agent 76, Bastion, the robot. His is super sad. It's amazing, but it's like sad, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, okay. I need to look up some more of that. But to me, this part just didn't have a lot of impact because I've only been playing since late January and have really just focused on trying to get better.
Gotcha.
So.
Who's your main?
Diva, Orisa,
there you go.
And I mostly stick to tanks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I will say, as somebody who doesn't even like shooters, Blizzard just does something very magical here with Overwatch. And you guys talk about the depth of their videos. There's a level of polish that Blizzard puts on everything, and it's almost like they can't fail.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy this game, even as somebody who doesn't really enjoy running around and shooting other people. And then obviously the Lego stuff that they announced, I think that is super cool. I'm a huge Lego fan. I'm gonna end up blowing a ton of money.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so excited for it.
And their Lego's gonna be like, oh, okay, you buy this set, you get maybe 1 or 2 characters. I'm gonna have to buy a fucking I don't even know how many characters there are now. There's a shitload. I'm gonna have to buy like a dozen sets. So
28, I think.
Damn it, 14 sets if it's 2.
I think they've only they kind of teased 6 of them or so. We'll see.
Yeah, they just had like the silhouettes, so everybody's speculating, what silhouettes what. I mean, if they got a Tracer one and they get a Reinhardt one, I'm sold. Doesn't matter. You can put whatever on it. If they got my mains, I'm buying them.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Overwatch?
Nah.
It's awesome.
I'm just watching this trailer. I'm like, I don't want to stop it. It looks so good. Let's see if I can exit this without exiting. Nope. So sorry, everybody that just sees my desktop. Next, I just wanted to touch on Super Mario Party real quick because is anybody excited for this game besides me?
I'm excited for it because it's something that I can play with like my significant other.
Gotcha.
Like,
we're doing a
mainly
let's
just
play of it. Nobody has a
I mean,
choice.
and that's fine. So like, just for another party game, that it's fine. But I don't have like, there's no more excitement I had with that than like Overcooked or something like that. Like I'm
Gotcha.
not like going crazy about it. Smash Bros is where it's at for me. But like, yeah, another Mario Party game, sure. Happy
Gotcha.
about it.
Not gonna lie, Overcooked looks a lot better than this. So I've been hyped for this game, and the only Mario Party I think I ever had was actually the original N64 one. I haven't had Nintendo.
That was what I was going to ask you. Was the last one you played?
Yeah,
because
literally the first one. Maybe the second or third, whatever was on Nintendo 64. I probably had
I think
those.
1, 2, and 3. Don't
Okay.
quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was just 1, 2, and 3 were
Okay.
on the 64.
I might have had all three of those. I just remember playing Mario Party with my friends. Would come over. My dad would play with us. All this stuff. Like, had a blast. I mean, the scarring on your palm from running that joystick around in circles and shit like that.
Yep.
And this is the first Nintendo product, the Switch, that I've owned since Nintendo 64. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is like a total, I'm going back to my childhood. I'm buying this game. It doesn't matter. I'm buying it. I'm going to play the shit out of it.
So Mario parties do have a pretty bad reputation right
yeah.
now, just because they went seriously downhill, and instead of like focusing on your skill within the mini games, like they just became so luck based that, you know, it was kind of like, you know, blue shells in Mario Kart where that could destroy your lead at the last
Right.
second. It was just like all those types of things. There was that times 100 in Mario Party.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
But it looks like this one is returning to the roots. So that's why I'm interested, but this just isn't the type of game I buy from Nintendo. Like the multiplayer games, the party style games, like
Right.
that's why I didn't buy Mario Tennis Aces, just because like couch co-op, it's just, you know, we're all at the age where we're not having sleepovers on the weekend and inviting people over to play video
Speak
games
for yourself.
Yeah, I
all
was going to
night.
say, I'm about to start. So, fuck. My
All right,
birthday
well-
is going to be a LAN party.
Oh,
I'll be
nice.
there.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was
So-
gonna say, I think it has time and its place. You know, I thoroughly enjoy sitting on the couch with friends with beers or whatever and playing Mario. There's just a certain level of connection, you know, when you're there in person rather than kicking somebody's ass over the internet and not being able to see their face.
Yeah.
Seeing,
So,
being able to rub it in
I
their
would like
face
to
in
play
person.
this game, but yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
you gotta see it in
I mean,
person. But
we're going
I'll
to
let you
be...
buy this game and I'll play with you.
Oh,
That
perfect,
is what
thank
I'm
you.
Trying to get at.
I'm not going to lie. We were talking about this more than I thought we would. But I've been super psyched. I watched this Red Cube Nintendo thing at Gamescom where these people actually played it. One of the most cringeworthy things I've ever seen in gaming. It was just unbelievable.
Is that the screenshot or
Yeah.
the image you have up right now? Yeah.
No,
I can
everybody looked like they were
already
just
tell.
faking having fun and trying to explain it. And yeah, it was abysmal. Definitely worth a watch if you just want to watch cringeworthy fucking commentary on a game that is, you know, no super diehards out there probably.
Yeah.
Speaking of diehards and couch co-op that we're going to be doing and online play and all that, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Oh yeah. Now you're talking my language.
So Gamescom, we got a look at some actual gameplay of Snake versus King K. Rool. Got to see King K. Rool's Ultimate. I think there was a Dark Samus and some other ones out there too. But I think King K. Rool was the first one people actually got to see his combat after the recent announcement. So I know that was the talk of it. I can't wait for this game. It needs to come out already.
Yeah, he looks fast for a heavyweight, and that's something I like because I prefer the gameplay of Melee. And you know, if anyone watching this is, you know, Super Smash Brothers fan, like I'm not the kind of Melee player who knows how to wave dash or anything like that. I just love the speed of Melee. So seeing that this game is faster than all other games except for Melee is exciting to me. So it's not going to be as fast as Melee, but it's faster than the other entries. And seeing the way that King K. Rool moves here, you can tell that's the case.
Yeah, I was very surprised how quick the movement is. The quick draw on his like I don't know, a blunderbuss, if you will.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. His ultimate's pretty badass too. I haven't played since a Smash Bros. Game since GameCube, so this is gonna be again one of those kind of things where I come back to it. And GameCube was just because my friends had it and played the shit out of it. So
Yeah.
I'm more of a 64 Smash Brothers type player, which I have in my living room.
We need to play.
Mike, Deion, thoughts?
I'm not a super diehard Smash fan. I did play Brawl for a while. I am excited about this one. I really like that they're bringing back every character from every game. I think it's a really cool service to the fans, and it's the best way to make sure that everybody's going to kind of have someone playing. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I don't know that I'll be spending 40 hours a week playing it, but who knows? It may surprise me.
Yeah, I'm kind of exactly on the same page as Mike. I actually never owned a Smash game. I've always just played at friends' houses, and so
okay.
to get one now where it's like, here's all the damn characters and some new ones. It's like, all right, this is great. But it's the same, right? I'm gonna play with you guys. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna put an enormous amount of time into it, but I definitely want to play, and I'm sure Chris will piss me off a lot, and so I'm gonna try to get good at a certain amount, and then
I'm gonna cheese the hell out of you guys.
I'm taking PTO after it comes out for like a week, so I can train just to beat Chris. Oh damn it! I'm gonna just play Cloud.
You thought you had the edge by doing that, and it's like, yeah, me too.
Well, no, I think I said I was only gonna take the Friday off, so that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be still better.
Yeah, I mean, you probably will be, because I'm going to be dedicating myself to learning how to play Cloud, who's probably a shitty character.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, he's got powerful attacks.
I have really low hopes for Cloud, because that's just the character I've always wanted to play. And
I know he, dominates in 2v2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, good in team battles, I think in tournaments, every team has a Cloud on it. Cool. But real quick, Mike, what's your history with Nintendo? Are you big Nintendo fanboy, owned all their systems, or are you kind of maybe when you were younger?
So I never actually owned a Nintendo or Super Nintendo as a kid. I actually grew up on a Sega Genesis.
Gotcha.
But I got a Nintendo 64 instead of a PS1 way back in the day. And to this day, I think Nintendo 64 is my favorite console. Since then, I've owned the Wii, I've owned the Wii U. I actually camped out with John for the Switch. And all the handhelds. So there are a handful of games for Nintendo that I absolutely love. I'm not all over the place, but there's a lot of love for Nintendo for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's just Nintendo's always been my main console, and then the other consoles I buy have been secondary. So I did have a PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. I always buy them a year or two after I buy whatever Nintendo system came out that year. Except for the Wii U, I did not own a Wii U, but I've owned every Nintendo system and all their handhelds as well. So I just love these characters, and that's why when they're all grouped together, when the 64 version came out, I was like, this is heaven.
Yeah.
And it got me interested in other series like Fire Emblem, because in Melee, those characters were in Smash Brothers before any of their games were in North America. So that got me interested in other series too. Before we move on though, gotta ask, because I got Ridley, I got King K. Rool. Those were two characters I wanted. The one other character I want is Geno from Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Could you guys name one character you'd like to see in Super Smash Brothers? Third party or first party? Any character in the world.
Yes. Probably.
One caveat, it has to be a video game character first. So an anime character, if they were an anime character first, they won't get in.
Interesting. Okay. Probably what do they call them? Shadow characters to Cloud, actually. Sephiroth.
Nice.
I would, yeah. And a special edition based on the characters too. That'd be great.
They call them something different in this game. I forget.
Yeah.
Echo Fighter.
Echo Fighter. That's yep.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, Sephiroth, Echo Fighter, Cloud. I mean, it seems like a natural fit, but
You know, I think I'd have a lot of fun playing as Earthworm Jim.
Huh.
You know, that sort of range and whipping that head around and grabbing people and throwing them. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Didn't
Hell yeah.
they do a PlayStation fighter game? I don't think it did very well, but it was like different PlayStation icons fighter game. It was kind of like Smash Bros. But PlayStation.
Oh man, what was it called?
PlayStation
Was
like
it
Battle All
Champions or something?
Stars.
Yeah, something like that.
Battle All Star, Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Did anybody even own that game? I don't think I've ever seen it played.
PlayStation
No.
All Star Battle Royale. I think they gave it away.
It got
on
mixed.
PlayStation
It got
Plus years ago.
mixed reviews. Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did eventually put it on PlayStation Plus, but it got very mixed reviews because it wasn't the Smash clone that people wanted.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
It played completely differently.
Yeah, you had to like kill someone with one of your special moves was the only way to kill somebody.
Oh.
You had to use like your special move, so you had to attack enough to gain a special and then hit someone with that special to kill them. It was weird.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I think the lineup was cool. It was fun playing as Nathan Drake or even Kratos. I think they had Raiden in there too from the Metal Gear series. So
Yeah,
I remember
just a bunch of
enjoying
white
it. But
people.
why would it be like that?
PlayStation White Guy Battle Royale
Deion.
and Ratchet.
I have no clue, dude. You know what I would want in a Smash game? Spyro. That's what I want.
There you go.
Going back to the PlayStation Battle All Star. There you go. Maybe
Spyro,
they'll
I
come
don't think
back.
Spyro was in it.
Really? Man,
Probably.
he should have been in it. Spyro coming out, and actually super pumped about that. Although there's some shit where the third game isn't on the disc or something.
Second and third game.
Second and third game? Damn. That's a whole different topic. But okay, Chris. 60 seconds.
Did we go through all the games we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we did.
That was it, yeah.
Dope. All right. So, are you gonna
We
start?
did it.
Are you gonna pop up these trailers as I talk about these games, or no?
That might be difficult for me to do.
Okay, just do one. Just do one if you can. Do Gris. All right, GRIS. This
Gameplay?
is.
The cat one?
Oh, I didn't even know there was gameplay. Oh,
No.
shit.
Oh yeah. there
Well,
is.
Gris is a game by
Oh,
Devolver
IGN.
Digital.
Thanks IGN for this video that I can't pull. Oh, there we go. Oh, I gotta wait 10 seconds.
Copyright.
Gotta wait 10
You can
seconds.
You could just do the gameplay, or not the gameplay, the reveal trailer
I mean,
on YouTube.
I'm already pretty far in.
All right, cool. So, Gris is
God,
by
it's
Devolver
terrifying.
Digital. It has like an aesthetic that I love. You can hit skip ad, bro.
This isn't an. Oh, you're messing with it. Oh God. Okay, here we go.
Gosh, bro.
What
What are you
is
saying?
this?
Oh my gosh, I can't see
It was like some IGN stuff.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, this is the kind of game that just by the look of it, I'm interested in. It also has. You don't have the audio on now, I don't think, or do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, but it has like a amazing soundtrack. The worlds just look, I don't know, just atmospheric. I don't know. I'm just throwing out adjectives now, but it's just
Tranquil.
it's beautiful. I don't know what the gameplay is like, so this is basically the opposite of like how I feel about Cyberpunk. Like this sold me right away. I didn't need to see gameplay. I'm just
Interesting.
like this aesthetic is enough for me. And hearing the soundtrack was pretty dope too. It's coming out this year, no official date yet, but 2018 on PC and Switch.
Interesting. It looks very much. Oh man, now I'm gonna blank on the name.
Journey? Are you thinking Journey?
Yeah,
Is this
Journey.
reminding me
Yep.
of Journey hardcore right now?
Oh yeah. I have a feeling that this is gonna like pull at some heartstrings. You know, like there's not
Oh.
gonna be lots of dialogue or story, cutscenes or whatever. There will be the animated stuff that you saw earlier, but I have a feeling this is going to be telling you a story through, what is the term for it? Like atmospheric storytelling, where
Gotcha.
it's
Yeah.
not just hand fed to you.
This looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I am into it.
Very cool.
A couple other games. Sable, also
Might as
pretty
well just go
great.
for it.
Yeah, do it. So cell shaded
Oh
style
my God.
graphics.
Shouldn't have scrolled in this channel.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God.
Banned.
Banned.
Yeah, pull up that.
No one
shit
gave me
right now.
warnings. This is all your
I don't
fault.
know how.
No one knew you would do this.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't see that coming.
That's what you guys were
cracking
laughing
up.
at earlier.
Yes, we were.
Nice. It all comes together now.
So
what is this
Sable was announced at E3. Originally, well, there were some screenshots out before E3, but announced at E3. You can see here, nice cel-shaded style. I believe that there are, like, the world is kind of procedurally generated. I'm not 100%
interesting.
sure on that. I didn't look at a ton of details, but
I think you just like games where people slide
I
down
was
on
just gonna
things.
say that.
That's exactly what happened in the last one.
And
then
they
I
have a cave and there's hills. He's in.
yeah, I mean, I like kind of the
This looks cool,
isolation of these games,
It
I
does.
guess. You know, where you're a single character. There's not a lot around you except a beautiful world.
Chris, do you need a hug?
Have you played?
Guys, it's just that I feel all alone. No, I'm just kidding.
Have you played No Man's Sky? Because this honestly kind of looks like No Man's Sky, but with
No.
the cell shade. Well, I don't know what you want to call this. Cell shading, I guess.
Nah, No Man's Sky just doesn't really like draw me in much.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing of this so far, and I guess this one is going to be very story driven. So what I remember from like an interview was them saying like procedurally generated, but they are still going to push a narrative that that has an impact.
Gotcha.
So being able to do that with a procedurally generated world is an interesting concept to me. So that's a 2019 game.
Cool.
Also, we have, if you want to scroll,
Daemon Ex Machina.
yeah, don't only scroll down a tiny bit, so you don't.
Oh,
don't
no, I
pop
got
open
the
that
teaser
image
up.
again. Okay, cool. This just looks dope as hell. Action packed, mech, combat, and like with hard like death metal music in the background, like
Oh,
bit of
no
an
shit.
anime aesthetic too with these characters. A lot of games that have like a punk rock feel to them, those kind of pull me into, and this is just like crazy over the top mech action.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a mech guy.
I'm.
But this looks cool to me.
This looks very cool, and I have a friend that will just lose his shit when he sees this. When's this come out? Does it have a release date?
This will be 2019. I
Okay.
believe it is a Switch exclusive.
Really? God,
Yeah.
I love the Switch. I was like a little like I liked it at first, Zelda, Mario, fucking great games. But more and more, I am just fucking this console's killing it.
All in. Yeah,
All
it is
in.
a Switch exclusive.
Very
Yep.
cool.
So it
Yeah,
is
when-
developed by Marvelous and First Studio, published by Nintendo.
Cool.
So pretty dope.
Very.
When Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and then the Pokemon RPG of 2019 come out, this thing's never going to leave my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
the Switch is going to have some people say a bit of a dry spell over the past couple months, but they're still releasing
Dude,
a good
Octopath
amount of
Traveler.
games. Yeah, ton, and especially
Amazing.
with once Aces came out, then followed by Octopath Traveler.
Yep.
We got Pokemon coming up, we got Smash coming up, and then their 2019 lineup looks good. They also have a Nintendo Direct on Tuesday, focusing on indie titles. So
Very cool.
Nice.
lots to come.
Awesome.
If you want to scroll up a little bit, be quick on this one. Windjammers 2.
Oh,
This-
man, you guys are delayed. Scroll up to Windjammers 2.
This is
I was actually
a
listening to
game
somebody
we should
talk
all
about
play
this.
together. Yeah, so this Windjammers, the original, came out in 1994,
Yep.
and it was ported. I believe it's on Switch now, or PS4. well, you're not getting a ton of gameplay from this. Siri, what the fuck? Stop listening to my conversations. Sorry, Siri going crazy. So, oh yeah, I probably should have dropped a better trailer in here other than anime trailer. But I don't know. Think volleyball with a disc. Or,
Right.
I don't know. It's anime Pong
Gotcha.
is what it is, and it's super
Like
fast
aggressive
paced.
disc golf.
This is actually
Yeah.
giving me sport matching vibes, which we
Oh,
played
this
this
looks like,
past weekend, and I got way too drunk.
Think about Tron. This is basically Tron with the light rings.
Yes, exactly. So think of that. It's fast paced. It's competitive. I think it'd be great for us to do like a stream on this. And
Cool.
yeah, it's a sequel to a 1994 game, and
Yeah,
apparently,
that's impressive.
yeah, and the original Windjammers still looks fun to play. All right, next one is Biomutant. I have no idea what this is. It just looks cool. It's an action platformer, I guess.
How many links did you send me?
Yeah, bro.
Two more, or one more after
Oh my
Biomutant.
God.
I remember someone saying just 1 minute. You had 1
Yeah,
minute.
I remember it was a wee minute.
Yeah, but you guys are getting hyped for all these games. I'm spreading the love, all right?
I mean, that's fair.
So-
Let me just
This
open all
is-
these right now, real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. We're like 26 minutes over, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
all
mean,
good.
it's fine. This was gonna be a
Yeah.
20-minute thing, and we're
We're at 56.
we're
I
in.
mean, I already
We're
knew
56. Damn.
we were gonna go way over.
Okay,
But-
I do like the combat style in this game. That's true.
Yeah, so this one I'm not like super hyped for, but it's got like a cool cartooniness to it, you know, with the onomatopoeia, the smack and wham
Yeah.
popping up on the screen when you're hitting enemies. I already mentioned like Ratchet and Clank feel, but this is very Ratchet and Clank feel. The way the characters jump is a bit floaty. Instead of the wrench, you got that sword. You got some, cool long-range weapons too, and a bit of platforming in there. The world looks pretty nice. So I'm not 100% sure what to expect from this, but so far I'm interested. It looks like there is kind of a gap for this kind of game. I think like a mascot platformer action game.
Gotcha.
Even though I'm not sure how I feel about this main character. But
Yeah.
the only thing I saw of this
Sure.
game was just like the initial trailer. I was like, oh, let me look up, the gameplay. And I see what you're seeing right now. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll pay attention to it.
Cool.
So we'll see how this goes. THQ Nordic is who it's from, and it'll be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One next year in the summer.
Cool. Yeah, it definitely has me interested. I'll see more
Yeah.
about it, but interesting. Okay. Next 20 minutes. We got Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
Yeah, this is like childish as hell. I think it's charming, and it's got a cool cartoon aesthetic, several characters to play as. It's a platformer action game, I guess, and it just looks goofy as hell. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say really about that. Yeah, look at this little guy going around with his sword. Oh, look at the frog, just
Wow.
swinging by his tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It look. I mean, not the animation, but like, it looks real pretty too.
It looks good. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say about that one.
Okay. Black Sad? Under the Skin?
Yeah.
What is this?
So this is for the furry in everyone.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. So I don't know what really drew me in on this one. It was just like it has a noir feel to it. There's this.
Yeah, 50s noir
like,
detective.
I don't know if that's a panther or just like a regular cat, but he's a fucking detective, and I think it does take place in the 1950s. So it just looked interesting. I have no idea what kind of gameplay this is gonna have. If it's like story driven, or if it's gonna be, or not story driven. If it's
Like a telltale,
like a
type
telltale
of-
game.
yeah.
Where you're just making choices to further
This is
progress through
fucking
the game.
1950s Zootopia.
Yeah, bro. Look at that angry face on that cat.
I mean,
He's
he is
trying to solve, and so
angry.
I know that like they're trying to solve a murder, So, you know, it's based on a Spanish comic book, I believe, published by a French publisher or something like that.
Is it just me, or does this have a very salmon map?
Yeah.
I can see
Man,
that.
I forgot about that game. Damn.
And this will be on all systems: PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Steam.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I'll reserve judgment on that one. Maybe if I see some gameplay or something or reviews.
These were mostly games that just caught. The common theme is that these all have a weird
Furry.
to them.
Yep. Oh.
And that's what I like. Yeah, I'm all about them furries.
All about furries.
I'm about the anime, and I like the punk rock. You know.
Cool.
Boom. That has been Tales of Nerdia's 35 minutes.
Yeah, that was a long minute of weeb.
I got passion.
You have a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. Any closing comments, Mike, Deion, Chris? Sorry you're cut off.
You know, I'm really excited for the end of this year and the beginning of next year. I think there's a ton of great games coming out. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself with all these games. I'm certainly not going to get to everything I want to play.
Yeah, it's going to be
lots of good stuff coming. I'm really excited.
Yep.
Yeah, same sentiment. Quick plug for those who don't have For Honor. They're having that for free on Steam right now, so, you know, download it. It's free.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Slightly Salted Squad. Game news, we will be joining you hopefully once or twice a week. Either doing quick blurbs, Gamescom obviously being a pretty big one, and doing some Let's Plays. So, hope you enjoyed. If you did, follow, like, subscribe, all the other things you do on various social media platforms. Take care.
Bye.